Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to do the instant match reaction of Tottenham 1, Arsenal 0, and we're going to go straight into it with starting from the first minute. So in terms of how the game started, I think both teams started very well, but in particular I think it was a much brighter start from Spurs as Lucas Moura and Dele Alli got into attacking positions in the box, but Spurs couldn't make them count. Højbjerg calls for a penalty after he is bundled over by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Spurs really started the game off very well. I think Arsenal had an abrupt starting from the way they kicked off the ball. He tried to give it to Kieran Tierney, and Kieran Tierney straight away lost the ball, and Kieran Tierney was someone that goes down easy and is clutching his face after minimal contact, and it's safe to say the Tottenham fans have a dislike into the Scottish international as he is being roundly booed as well. But then Spurs have another chance after Sanchez plays a long ball forward that is headed back to Heung-min Son, but his half volley flies just wide, and then it was just a few shots from Arsenal, but then a clear opportunity from Son. He gets a big chance for Spurs 60 minutes in as Lucas gets down the left into the box and gets the ball across to the unmarked Son, but he fires it at Leno. But then Arsenal started to gain some momentum, and Lacazette had an opportunity where Kieran Tierney whips in a trademark excellent cross from the left to find Alex Lacazette at the back post. The Frenchman is stretching for it but catches a sweet volley inside the box that goes just wide of the post. And then Lacazette again had a second chance where he had a lovely powerful effort from Lacazette from the edge of the box, and this hits the outside of the post, but Hugo Lloris was beaten, but it hit the outside of the post. But then Spurs also had a chance as well after some lovely football from Spurs where Arsenal had some lackluster moment. Pablo Mari should have put a better pass for the defence to cope with much better, and this led to Arsenal struggling a little bit. But in terms of that few period of time, I think Arsenal were unlucky not to score because they had 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes where they were playing some good football. I think after that 10 minutes from Spurs where they were looking sensational, Arsenal had their moments, they had the opportunity. I think there was a tackle in there where Dele Alli looked a bit shocking, and I think that it shouldn't have been a yellow card, maybe even a red card. But overall, in terms of that first 30 to 40 minutes, also had some good football, and I think they were unlucky not to score. But then Spurs do hit the post in the end after some lovely football by Spurs, which culminates in Dele Alli hitting the post. The Tottenham fans give their team a big round of applause, very pleasing on the eye, but it just didn't have the finish. And I think Dele Alli was unlucky not to score, but I think he deserves that after that foul that he did on nicolas pepe. And nicolas pepe could have been injured, he could have had an injury where he could have been out for 6-7 months, but luckily he didn't get injured. But overall, Arsenal looked the much dominant side. I think Arsenal unlucky not to score a goal, but also sloppiness in the back. Sometimes the lack of concentration could lead to Spurs scoring as well. And there were, if you think about it really, I think Spurs had the better chances. I think they had two opportunities. The one with Son, where he had a one-on-one opportunity versus Leno, but Leno made a good save, and Dele Alli hitting the post. But at the same time, you can say Lacazette's shot, they hit the post as well. And there were some moments where nicolas pepe put in a nice ball into the 6-yard area, but no one got into the end of it. There were some moments there where Arsenal could have scored as well. But I think there's one player that I think needs to get taken off, in my opinion, and his name is Hector Bellerin. I think he's one player that is causing the problems, in my opinion. But there is some opportunity, there's some decisions for Mikel Arteta to make. But overall, in terms of the likes of Arsenal, they do look dominant, they look much attacking this season. I think moving to the new season, I think we're going to see more goals. I like the way Arsenal are possessing the ball, but they need to be much more clinical, and they need to prevent that concentration where they drop off in concentration and it looks likely for Spurs to concede. But Mikel Arteta should move very well into the second half of the game. So moving into the second half of the game, I think the first thing that we can talk about, it was much more lackluster. There was not much energy and it was much boring, in my opinion. But some of the highlights was probably the fact that Mikel Arteta and Højbjerg clash, where Pierre-Emil Højbjerg and Mikel Arteta have strong words for one another as the Dane comes close to taking him out with a tackle. But to be fair to Højbjerg, Mikel Arteta was just outside his box, but it was nothing really in that. Then Son was really close by curling in a free kick which Sanchez heads on, and Dele turns against the post on the slides. And then after that, in terms of Arsenal, they really had less chances because Tottenham was so ahead. Sergio Leguin on another chance, he flies down the left wing and fires a shot, and it goes across the face of goal. But then these Spurs chances started to mount upon, and Arsenal looked more and more shaky as they made changes themselves, and then Tottenham score. Spurs score, and that was all about Japhet Tanganga. He battled and won the ball back of Nicolas Pepe in the corner. Lo Celso played him back into the box, and the right back found Heung-min Son to fire home. And I think it was a good shot from Heung-min Son. I think it shows clearly what Arsenal are. I think under new manager Nuno Espirito Santo, I think the way Spurs play is that they will play defensively, they will take chances, but they have that odd ability to score a goal. That's something that we know about Jose Mourinho. If the opposite team plays the best football in the world, both Mourinho's team will somehow score and win the game. And that's the way Nuno Espirito is trying to evolve into the same club. They're trying to play a certain style of football, and that's something that I think is molded very nicely from Jose Mourinho, that defensive lineup when they're scoring that odd 1-0 or the odd 2-1 and just getting that cheeky goal in the end. And that's something that Heung-min Son done, and that's something that Mikel Arteta will need to pounce upon moving into the new season. But Tottenham win 1-0 against Arsenal courtesy of Heung-min Son's game, but we can clearly see that there's a lot of things to work on for Mikel Arteta. I am scared as an Arsenal fan looking at what Arsenal are going to do moving into the new season. We look literally the same as we did last season. We have 5 days till the season starts, and we made only 3 signings, and 2 of those signings are pretty much understudies to players that we already have in that position. Lokonga being the understudy to Thomas Partey, and the likes of Nuno Tavares being an understudy to Kieran Tierney. And Mikel Arteta has one signing in the form of Ben White, long-term replacement to David Luiz, and that's something that we definitely needed to bring as a priority. But if you look at other positions, I think the goalkeeper position, I think Leno is pretty bang average to me. And if you want to fight for the titles, if you want to fight back into the top 4, I don't think he's a man that will take us further. If you look at the other players such as Hector Bellerin, his future we still don't know. It's very uncertain for me. I want to see him leave Arsenal. I'm grateful for what he's done for the club, but I don't think it's good enough at all. You got other players there that we still don't know what his futures are at the club, but there's a lot to improve.